Hi, my name's Carly Castelli. I'm going to base my project off of Madeline Hunter's instructional theory into practice, and this is for models of teaching.
I based my final project off of Madeline Hunter's instructional theory into practice. I like it because it is the decision making model. It focuses on content, learner behaviors, and also teacher behaviors. Um, my objectives for this particular lesson, a few of them are listed here. We are talking about the geologic timescale in my high school earth science class, and there's a total of 5 objectives. 3 of them are listed here. They're going to be able to summarize how evolution is changing and then also identify characteristics of each portion on the timescale that we encounter. It's separated into 2 days. In the first day, we're going to talk about the Precambrian and the Paleozoic era. And here's just some examples of how I set up slides for each of my classes. I try and make them very engaging and catchy for students to look at. And I also paraphrase things so they're not completely overwhelmed with information. And here's just some more examples of notes from the geologic timescale. Then for the first activity, which is rate. Oh, first off, there's questions that I asked my students. Of course, knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, and evaluation questions, just to get them thinking at all different levels. And so, with the geologic time scale, it's important that they do understand the basics, so knowing orders and also evaluating. They need to know the events that occurred in between each period because that's how these periods are classified. So, classification is also important at this level, which is a higher order of thinking. For the first day, had them complete an assignment, at least begin an assignment, I should say. I posted it in Schoology, which I'll show you a clip of at the end of the presentation. They had to start their own notes. They're high school kids. They need to start being able to take their own notes. So I outlined it for them this point until they learn how to take notes for themselves. And for each part on the time scale, they have to fill in the information about it. So as we work our way through the time scale, they can start filling it in so they don't have to take a bunch of notes at one time. And the outline looks like this. And they just start at the bottom and then they work their way up to the most recent time. Then day 2 in the class, um, I split the kids up into groups. This is the slide that I used for my students to create. I called it their mini lesson. Each group was assigned a different epoch, which is what the periods on the time scale are split up into. They needed to include 3 facts about their particular epoch that they were assigned and use their books to conduct some mini research so that they could create a slide, make it engaging, and present it to the class. And they also had to include in those 3 facts, they could also have more if they wanted to. They could include they needed to include the important event that occurred at the beginning and the end of their epochs, as this marked the change in epochs. Important events that occurred marked these changes. And here's examples of the blank slides that I assigned to each of the kids. And they were just very basic, and then the kids were able to add on themselves. So, some student examples that I'm providing here. These are just they had 15 minutes to work on them. They worked in groups of 3, and they were able to include some of these notes. And as you could see, based off of the different colors, the students worked together. And then here's another example of students that did the Permian. All right, and this is where I posted it in Schoology. The students are to go to their class materials tab every single week, and whichever week we're in. This happened to be the week of Monday, January 14th, and their geologic timescale notes were posted here, which is where now that we're completed with the timescale, they're going to submit their notes. And also, I posted each class individually. I have 2 earth science classes. They each got their particular class's notes. So they were able to see what one another did and have those notes readily available to them.